When you go hang out with like-minded people, eventually opportunities pop up. You create your own opportunities by doing that. All right, so today we are going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to be talking about a really effective way to secure collaborations with kind of the biggest influencers, whether they are in the NFT space or whether they're in the crypto space or just anywhere in general. I'm just going to share a couple of experiences. Hopefully that'll be helpful for you. Also, I am going to be talking about one of the added focuses for us as a marketing agency on the single grain side. And I'm also going to be talking about something incredible, which I can't talk about too much, but it's taking up a good chunk of my week. So that's February 19th of 2022. Real quick, my name is Eric Su. I'm the creator of the Leveling Up Heroes NFT project. And I'd like you to hit the like button and the subscribe button before we start to help us grow. And here we go. So this week, a couple amazing things happened. Had a dinner with the Doodles founders. Also had a dinner with the founder of Milo, which does crypto mortgages. We had a founders dinner as well. And so, the Doodles dinner was great because we got to meet with Evan, who's the founder, Burnt Toast, who's the artist, and also Alfie, who's the motion artist, and also met with Fiona from the team. And I was introduced from my friend Eric, who's a lawyer here in Miami, great guy. And also Gianni from JPEG Morgan actually showed up there as well. So it was a good time. And, being able to connect with everyone there, just listening to their story, just kind of listening to them talk, being present with them just goes such a long way because, again, even if you have that touch point for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even for, we're there for a couple hours, it goes a long way because it then builds a real relationship. Zoom to me is just a transaction, right? And so similar deal with the founder of Milo Credit, which again, they do crypto mortgages. So if you have a bunch of crypto, they'll basically give you a loan on your crypto within 30 days. So I had dinner with him at an Italian restaurant in Miami called Casa Tua. And, it was a casual thing. And it was cool because I got to learn a lot about him. I got to learn his story. He got to learn mine as well. And, just from that conversation alone, we're figuring out other ways for us to collab together. And then the other one is, meeting with a bunch of other founders. These people are more kind of in the tech space and the investing space as well. So very different groups of people. And so you might be wondering, okay, Eric, what's your point around all this stuff? So my point is this. For you to also get into these types of rooms, to have these dinners, there's always some opportunity to capitalize on. So I'll start with Milo Credit first. So I was at the North America Bitcoin conference in Miami a couple weeks ago. And I was checking out the booths with one of my friends, and we're just looking around. And then he was like, "Hey, did you see the booth where they talked about crypto mortgages?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" So we walked over, and turns out we can actually get, you get a loan on your crypto, so you can let the crypto continue to appreciate. You don't have to liquidate it, and it seems like a no-brainer to me, and it seems like they're doing well. And so I wanted to get the founder on the podcast, so I just had my assistant reach out, and then we scheduled a podcast interview. And then from the podcast interview, then I said, hey, why don't we just go grab food or something like that? And we did that. And it started with my friend who's in another group. He was like, hey, why don't you come check out? Are you gonna go to the North American Bitcoin conference? There's free tickets or whatever, right? And we signed up for that. So it's about being opportunistic. And then I was in one group which led to this thing, to this conference, and then us looking around, and then us being curious, and then me thinking about the different angles, right? So there's always an angle, but you have to be in the right place at the right time. So that's why I say serendipity is so important. And when you go hang out with like-minded people, eventually opportunities pop up. You create your own opportunities by doing that. So that's with Milo Credit. And that's with Joseph, the CEO. Now, on the other side, let's talk about Doodles for a second. So I think they have the most original art in the NFT space. To me, it's the most original. And just having the conversation with Scott, who's Burnt Toast, the artist, and also the rest of the team, is just, you can tell the passion that's there, and they're very grounded, right? The fame, so to speak, hasn't really gotten to them yet. I haven't really seen like any ego, right? Like any massive ego or arrogance there. And so, how did that go about? Okay, well, I'm friends with Eric, right? And Eric actually represents the Doodles now as a lawyer. And so, what happened was a couple months ago when I first moved to Miami, I started to do dinners. I always do dinners, right? In LA, I do dinners every now and then. I just like doing dinners because as an extroverted introvert, I need to recharge, right? And I don't like going up to a bunch of people. I just like getting a small group of people, high quality, curating the group, and that's that. And so I actually met Eric from Clubhouse a long time ago. So again, it's touch points. It's being at the right place at the right time, connecting with him there, and then we had both moved to Miami from LA, right? And then we, grabbed a couple meals together, had him come to my dinners. We hung out a couple times before, and we actually became friends. And he's like, yo, like, you've been great with the dinners and all that, and so like I'd like for you to come to this one. And here's the other thing, like, when you get invited to these things, you take the opportunity, because other times, this year or in the past 12 months or so, I'd get invited to things, and you realize one thing: people aren't usually going to extend that many invites out to you. You got to take them, right? And so, if you reject one, you're most likely not going to get a second one, right? So taking these things, seizing the opportunity, that's another thing. But again, it's being at the right place at the right time and then seizing the opportunity. Did I want to stay home? Did I want to just watch TV instead? Yes. But, that's what I did. And so that's the Doodles one. And then the third one would be, again, similar thing. So my friend Jason Ye, he's a venture capitalist, and we were actually both, I'd invested in a company called Maven, which is the education company. We were both part of the same cohort in terms of kind of, we're learning how to teach cohort-based courses. And, we were all in a Slack together, and he mentioned that he was coming to Miami, and we just hung out at Joe and the Juice, which is like a little juice place downstairs and in Miami. And, we hit it off, and from there, I mean, he introduced me to a couple things. I introduced him to a couple things too. I got on calls for him. Like, we're just kind of knowledge sharing as well, but you can tell we're aligned, even though he's an investor, and then I'm kind of more of like a, let's just say like a creator, entrepreneur type of deal. He's like, hey, look, I'm doing this dinner, right? And that dinner had amazing people there. I'm not going to name drop for this one, but just amazing people at that dinner. And so again, that's seizing the opportunity and just reaching out to each other and say, hey, why don't we just do a quick meet and greet? Because even if you meet for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, it goes a long way, right? And I think, for me, coming from the gaming world, which I consider kind of the metaverse back in the day, right? The natural inclination would be to just want to sit at home and just chill, right? But again, human beings like doing business with human beings, so that's what it takes. And so even if you're starting at the very beginning right now, it's just putting yourself in the right place at the right time. And then, you'll slowly level up the relationships that you have. And then you'll get to a level where it's like, you'll find you'll be like, whoa, how am I even in these dinners? Like, how did this happen, right? But it's really just seizing the opportunity at the end of the day. So that's that. And then the other thing I want to talk about too is kind of what I'm learning from this focus. So I have a marketing agency called Single Grain. And, even though we serve mostly software companies and, big tech and e-commerce, focusing on Web3. So to me, when an agency focuses, the ultimate focus is one focus, right? But I do think an agency can focus on 3 to 4 categories and really hone in on those and not try to serve everyone. But, creating our NFT project, we have a lot of people reaching out to us, and we also have a lot of exchanges reaching out to us as one, and, different Web3 companies reaching out to us because we understand the space, right? And so to be able to occupy that, to say, hey, why don't we try being one of the top Web3 firms out there on the marketing side? We can see it's about jumping on the right rocket ship at the right time, right? Because a lot of, dollars are going into that space right now. There's a lot of building going on in that space right now. And, I would say just like NFTs, I think a lot of these companies are going to go to zero. But, some of them are going to become kind of the next Amazon, the next Google, or the next Facebook type of deal. And then speaking of the company, there's only one thing I can say about this right now, and I will record a video. Maybe I will record a video in the future, but I'll just say this, your reputation can be burnt instantly, and it takes years to build it up. And so, some people, this kind of carries over into the Web3, the crypto space right now. It's just a lot of the stuff in the NFT space right now are short-term cash grabs. It reminds me of the ICO boom back in 2017 or so. And, I'm kind of sensing the same thing right now. And so, you're better off. I mean, if you're a crafty person, or if you're a clever person or a smart person, you're better off using those smarts to do good with it. And to have a long-term outlook is a path that's road less taken, right? We'll just put it that way. And when you go for short-term cash grabs, sometimes you end up burning relationships, and, there's collateral damage. People end up getting hurt. And so that's just something that I had to deal with this week. And, without giving up too much information here, I'm just going to leave it at that. But, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think I might have missed in terms of, connecting with people, or let me know who else you think I should throw dinners with in the near future. Drop that into the chat below, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Catch you later.